Hello, my name is Anne and this is Toby, and welcome to a Tobyknits Podcast episode 154. Yay! Yeah, he thinks I'm mad too. Have you got your cup of tea? You ready? Oh yeah, new people, and there's been a lot of new people. I'm so excited to tell you. You need to go get a cup of tea. Because this might take a while, because I do tend to talk a lot, and I have a lot to tell you, basically, because today we're going to be talking about knitting, cross stitch and quilting. I have no crochet, I don't think. No. So get comfy, get your cup of tea. You might need a biscuit. I don't have any biscuits today. Don't know what's wrong with me there, but you know, I might cough. I'm trying to get over the cold that I've had for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. It's not really been a bad cold, but it's the cough. Now, somebody told me it might be COVID cough because I did have COVID last September. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, are you going somewhere? Are you going somewhere? Oh, he's sitting on that side now. He sits always behind me. Yeah, I got this cough flash that I've had for 2 weeks now. It hasn't gone away, but it's not really like a cold. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It could be COVID cough. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so for all the new people, I am originally from England. Was born in Liverpool. Actually moved all over England as a kid because of my dad's job. Moved to Canada when I was 25. Came by myself. I did. 1 year to be a children's nanny. And I'm still here 40 years later, married a Canadian. I have 2 sons who are 32. Sean, he lives in Nova Scotia with his wife and 2 little babies. And the lovely Leo. He's 2, and Sunny, and I was there in November when she was born. Oh, and then Andrew's at 34. He's married to Caroline. They live in the next village over, and oh yeah, I'm in Ontario. I live just in a little village just outside of Ottawa, and they have Tristan, the devil. He's not really, he's just the loveliest. Never stops talking. I don't know where he gets that from. Must run in the family, you think? Yeah. And Evie, my beautiful little Evelyn. So, oh, and then I have a stepdaughter, Carrie, and she has a partner, and her partner has 2 kids. So, Mateo is 8, and Lucia's 7. So there's lots of grandkids to spoil. It's lovely. Oh, yes. I went off on a tangent there, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, so what have I been up to in the past 2 weeks? Let's have a chit chat first before we get into all the knitting business. Well, I released a new sock pattern. I did. And it's called Honey, It's Cold Out. And I want to show you, here's a picture of them. And they look like honeycombs dripping down the front of the sock. There's no pattern on the back, so it's super easy. And then the honeycombs kind of drip down to one and go all the way down the sock, because I thought to myself that when you knit socks, the leg part is lovely and usually has all the action, right? But the problem is you don't see the leg part because it's usually under your pants or in your boots. Whereas when you're at home and you're just walking around, you see your foot. And sometimes it's nice to have a pattern down the foot of the sock. But you know, the foot of our socks are so long, right? Depending on the size of your feet. So I don't like a huge pattern down the front of the sock because I feel like it takes forever to finish the sock. But you want something. So I made the little honeycombs go all the way down the sock with just a nice little easy pattern that moves you forward quickly. But it is a honeycomb pattern. That is the stitch that I used from my knitting stitches book. But to me, they don't look like honeycombs. To me, this is the inspirational picture from it. And this is what happens in Canada, because that's where I live, Canada, Ontario. We get a lot of snow. We get a lot of ice. We get a lot of frosties. And this is the car window that I got into. And you can see the sort of honeycombish, star flaky-ish shapes. And so that's why I made my socks and called them Honey It's Cold Out. So I released them on February the 1st. If you are a subscriber to my newsletter and you receive my newsletter, there is a discount code in last week's newsletter, I think. So there's that. We went skating. Remember we were going to go skating last week, but then it got too soft because we had a little thaw. We decided this past week that we would take Tristan skating at the rink where Bob works. So we went there with the kids. Evie stayed with her other grandparents, but we went and with Andrew and Caroline and Tristan. So here's a picture of, or a few pictures of him on his skating aid, because he's not quite 4 yet, but anyway, he's doing all right. But of course he went round once and thus decided that he'd had enough, wanted to see Nana, and we needed to go get Geen candy. As you do. So that's what we did. Then this past week, I had a doctor's appointment to get my second shingles shot. Has anybody ever had that? I got it like 3 months ago. And you have to do it in one part, 2 part or something. And thank God you only get it once. And apparently they think it's a good idea for you to get when you're over 65. So that's why I got it. And it was free. So, not that I like getting needles and shots. I don't. I'm a biggest baby ever when it comes to that. I'm like, don't even let me see it, because the minute I see it come out the package or whatever you do with it, I'm out the door. I'm not even waiting for it. So, but they know me at the doctor's office. So anyway, so I got it. My arm was sore a day, but not as bad as the first time I got it. My gosh, the first time I got it, I couldn't even lift my arm for like 4 days. What's with that? Very painful. Very painful. I better not ever get shingles after this now. And you say that. I've had 4 or 5 COVID shots. I've had the flu shot. I've had the pneumonia shot all this year. And here I am with a cold. And the COVID cough thing. What is that about? I don't know. Oh, also this past week, I did an interview on Cotton Cuts, their YouTube channel, Facebook. I think it's streamed to all 3, and Instagram. And I was interviewed because I'm an ambassador for Cotton Cuts. Hang on, I got to count. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's time for the bobbly bits. I am an ambassador for Cotton Cuts, so they very graciously send me their latest puzzle mystery quilt, and then I do videos of how I put them together, sometimes live. Do you want to do a live this Friday for that? I can if you want. Just let me know below. And so they interviewed me because I think I'm the only Canadian ambassador, because all the rest are mostly Americans, because it is an American company, but they are fabulous fun. I'll go into more details with that in a minute, because I'll be showing you what I've sewn this week for my Cotton Cuts, so you'll see it. So yeah, I did that interview, and I'll leave a link below. I'm pretty sure I can do that. so you can go watch that interview if you want. And, oh, I told you we went to my niece's little boy's birthday, and that was fun. I got to hold him. Oh, he's so lovely. And we played, and there was loads of kids there. It was a lot of fun, though. So we did that. And then of course, last night, we went to watch the Super Bowl over at Andrew's house. And I was going for the 49ers because, as I say, I don't really follow football, or American football, as I call it, not like our football. And I don't really understand the teams. I don't follow it that much. So typically I want to know who the quarterback is and how old the quarterback is, because I always usually go with the youngest. And so that's why I went with the 49ers. Plus, we've been to San Francisco. We've never been to Kansas City. So I figured, you know, we'll go with the 49ers, San Francisco. And they lost. But it was very close, though. I mean, it was back and forth between the two teams. And it was only in the last little down, or whatever the hell you call it, that they lost. So it was good. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. It was just nice to go over to Andrew's house and watch it. We had like a little smorgasbord of food out, and, you know, Tristan and I played Throw the Monkey. I made him a monkey, a crocheted monkey. Why is my yarn in a mess here? I made him this crochet monkey when he was a little baby. It's one of them with the long arms and the long legs. If I can find a picture, I'll put it here, but it's been forever ago that I made it. And so we play ball with that. We roll him all up. We tie his legs and arms all together, and then we throw it at each other down the hallway. You know, it's what you do when you're playing with a 3.5-year-old. That's what you do. So I'm told. It worked. And it was so funny because I'd throw it and I'd say, "Rubbish shot, that," you know, and then he'd throw it back to me, "Rubbish, Nana." And then I'd throw it, "Good shot," you know, because we had to hit each other. That was the whole point. And anyway, that's what you do. So anyway, that's enough of that talk. Let's talk knitting. Let's talk about what I've been working on. Because we're 12 minutes into this video. I told you this was going to be long. Didn't I tell you that? Are you sure you've got your tea ready? Mine's probably nearly cold now. Let's talk about the Gideon method. Okay, if you don't know what that is, it's a new method that I'm using with my knitting. I first learned about it from Martin of Knit365 blog. And what I do is I have a piece of paper, and on my piece of paper, which I have no idea what I've done with, I write down all my whips that I have got languishing around. And then I write down, I pick 6 of them. However many I've got, I pick 6. Because I think I had 18 whips, I think, you know. And so you write them all down, you pick 6, and then you spend 12 hours, not consecutive, like get up at 12, knit till 12, no. Whenever you pick up that project, you just count your number of hours till you've reached 12. And then you put that down to the bottom of the pile, and then you go on to the next one. And so I found beautifully that in January, I went through each of the 6 whips and spent 12 hours on each of them, and got all my 12 hours in the month of January, which I thought was perfect. So I redid my whips because nothing like doing stuff on the fly here. I completed my 6 whips. Oh, I think I woggled the table. That's all right. And one of the whips I finished, which was the little doll. Can you see her there? I finished her. So she got shifted off, and then the chicken went on instead. the emotional support chicken, to give it its correct name. So anyway, so I was all the way back to the start, and the start was the mermaid tail socks. I had done one, but I needed to do the second, and I had got in the first round of my Gideon method, I had gotten all the way down to the gusset. So I had done all the front and got all the way down to the gusset. So the second 12 hours, which of course I finished them. So here are both the socks, and this is what they look like. These are a design by Helen Stewart of, I think she's Curious Handmade, and it goes all the way down the front to on either side there, this pattern there, and it's just plain, and it's plain on the back. So I actually got to finish a pair of socks. So this is the first pair I finished, I think, in 2024. So I got them done in January. So I was really pleased with them. So that was good. Was it the first pair I finished, or did I finish a pair for my friend? Yeah, I finished the pair for my friend because I made her the Honey It's Cold Out as well for my friend. Yeah, so anyway, that is those. So that was done. So I was thrilled to bits. So now I'm down to 5 things on my list. So the next thing was the chicken number 2, because I have to make 3 chickens, maybe 5, for the grandkids. Now, this is the chicken, the emotional support chicken, by, I forget her name. I'll put a link, and it's really cute. So this one is for the lovely Leo, and will be going with me down to Nova Scotia in March when we go down. And I thought I'd finish the second one because they literally don't even take 12 hours. So I started another one for Leo. No, for Tristan. So there's the crowny thing. And there's the wobbly thing. And here is Tristan's. So I kind of thought I'd finished it in the 10 hours. I spent 10 hours on it. And I knew, excuse me, I knew that Tristan obviously has to have gain in his. I knew that it was easy to just stuff and finish. But before I did the stuffing and the finishing, I wanted to show you how it actually knit up, because it's super easy. And it's worsted weight yarn, so it's like a number 4 yarn. So I just used Red Heart, you know, cheapest yarn going. It's an acrylic. So how you do it is you make 2 of these, and it's nearly all, what's the word? Short rows. And I love short rows. I do. So you make these. It starts up, it starts down here. And you go like that, and then you do that, and then you do that. Then you do 2 of them. Then you crochet them together. And then this is how it's knit up. You knit across all of them with the geen, and you do a couple of rows, and then you start short row shaping here and here, and then there. Then you add the next green stripe, and then you do the short rows for his head. Then you put the beak on. And I thought, okay, I'm done. Now I can stuff it. But I forgot. I have to do its butt. What? It's just this piece here. It's not really his butt. It's its bottom. The bottom of the chicken. So I just have to do this part, and I'd forgotten all about that. So because I only did 10 hours, should I then finish the butt part, stuff him, sew him up, stuff him, put the eyes on, and he's done? Because that won't take me 2 hours. It really wouldn't. Should I do that? Or just wait till the next rotation? I don't know. I think I'll wait till the next rotation. Because the next on the list was my favorite blanket, and I have been dying to put my next colors in, because the way this works, it's from Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And what this is you take 2 50-gram balls of yarn, and she teaches you how to dye the yarn. So you're taking bare yarn, and that's how I got into dyeing my own yarn last year. And you start in the bottom. So you take these 2 50-gram balls. One is you dye it like a tonal, and the other you dye with speckles in it, and then you hold them double together and you knit them up. And it started at the bottom in the triangle, and then one moment while I untangle. Which is the right way, which is the wrong way? That's the right way. And then each month we got a new color. So I'm on July, because last June I stopped knitting on it because it was getting too heavy and too hot, because it gets very hot here in the summer. So we came to there, and then that was February's colors, and then March, and then April's, and then in May we started adding these, I don't know, cool little, can you see the holes there? Little holes, little eyelets, and decreasing one side so that we're squaring up our blanket as such, but the other side is still increasing. So we did that, and then we added this. So this was the color that I worked on last month, was this one, which was the June colors. And this one is the one I've just done. So this is 4 hours of work, 5 hours of work doing these, because there's a lot of stitches on this. This is it's quite big. And then you've got your little things. So we are holding the 2 colors. So one of which I've just dropped on the floor. Naturally I have. Here we go. So this is the tonal. Bob just let Toby out. This is the tonal, which is beautiful. And I'm using 80% merino, 20% angora. So look at the fluff on it. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And then this is my speckled. Oh. So, and this is the look. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I'm loving it. Anyway, by the time we're done, it'll be December. We don't use all of this up. So the Kay had suggested to make a little mitered square cushion with your leftovers. So this is what I did. This is where I'm at with that. Obviously, I can't do the next 2 colors because I'm using them. But it's super interesting because this was the first 2 colors that we held together and got that kind of color version. And then these were, look at this one. And then those were held together and got this color. Look at like how different is that? That's the 2 colors. So I'm really loving making the little cushion because I get to see what the colors knit up alone and not together. And it's, anyway, they're super pretty. I love it. So that's that little, but I mean, that's going on for ages. So that's how far I'm up to with my Gideon method. So I've got another 7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours to put into my favorite blanket. And like I said, I just usually knit in the evening when I'm watching the telly for 2 or 3 hours. That's how that works. So my other, you would have seen me, my other whips that I'm working on. So this is the Do Not Disturb shawl. Oh, sorry, I'm in the middle of a row here, so everything's tangled. Let me see if I can get that untangled. Can I? Yes. No. Can I? Yes. Where's that going? Maybe no. Let's see if we can put that there. Just bear with me a minute. Oh, I think I made that worse. No, I didn't. So here it is. This is the Do Not Disturb shawl by Louise Tilbrook. And it's a really lovely and easy pattern to follow. The first little bit while you get the setup, you know, and I'm not sure in her pattern she says I cast on 3. I think you should cast on 4, but whatever. And then and it's got the I-cord edge, which is lovely, and then these Tristan and I call them shark tooths, but picot binding edges, I don't know. So I have one that I made myself last year in a blue, and it was my winter walk colorway, I don't know. And so Tristan keeps trying to nick it from me. Every time he sees me wear it, he wants my scarf. So I told him I'd make him one, but of course it had to be green. So I dyed up this color, which is a light green, and I made the green up myself. I just did yellow and blue together and kind of got this green. Then I added a speck of the green that I do have, like I have an emerald green, but because I didn't want it to be that dark. That's why I made up my own color. And so this is how it's knitting up. And I did stick in a couple of speckles of olive to give it the little browny colors, which surprised me because I didn't think it was going to be brown. To me, olive is like a, well, it's a green. It's like an olive. Olives aren't brown, are they? Anyway, so, and of course I have my little green stitch marker. No idea where I got that from. And where's my other little, and my other little green stitch marker. So this is for Tristan. So it's really fun to do. So I just work on that during the day if I have 5 minutes or something. And then of course there's all the mitered squares I'm working on. But before I get to that, there's one other that I'm working on. That is my new sock design I'm working on. And I got these new needles and I wanted to show you them. So these are the new, this is going to be my new sock design, and it's going to be part of my Mummy and Me. Well, okay, what do you think? I need your advice. Should I call it Mummy and Me? Or should I call it Nana and Me? Because I plan to make, the sock will be in small, medium, and large, like I always do. But I plan to do a child size so that, you know, Tristan can wear it and Mummy can wear it, or Nana can wear the socks and Mummy can, and Tristan can wear it, or Leo and Nana. But anyway, this is going to be the sock design. That's what it looks like on the back. And so, but the needles are, oh, what are they called? They are, oh, and this is the colorway that I dyed up. This one is called Sandy Beach. And this is actually, this one, these socks, which are coming out lovely. I'm just loving them. These are on a BFL base. But I think I might have one merino in the shop. Where are my needle thingies? Here they are. They are Knitter's Pride Cabanza needles in 2.256 inch, and they're lovely. They're so light. You barely know you're holding them. I like so light. Now, I don't particularly like the join here. I feel like it's not smooth enough, but I also don't feel like the stitches will fall off either. So anyway, so this is one I'm working on. This is my daytime because that's my work ones. So that's those. And I haven't got a name for them yet. They were originally, my working title was going to be the sweater socks, because I wanted them to look like they were a sweater. And of course, they're really more like a cardigan. So should I call them the cardigan socks? Because, you know, this is the little button band all the way down the front of the cardigan. Anyway, I don't know. So I haven't decided, but they'll be part of the Mummy and Me or the Nana and Me series. So let's talk mitered squares, because we're half an hour in and we haven't even talked about them. Well, and I have 2 bags to show you, by the way. So you all know my friend Linda from Disley Sisters. Now she used to be Linda something Creations, wasn't she? Linda Simpson Creations. Now she's Disley Sisters, because her and her sister June are in on it together now, and June's a bag maker. Well, I told her that I was put out a call. I was looking for a bag that I could have 2 socks in the same time, because I have terrible second sock syndrome, as we all know. So I tried doing 2 at the same time on the same needle at Christmas. Didn't really like that method much. So I much preferred doing them in tandem, so on 2 separate needles in the same bag. But I didn't want them to get all mixed up. And so I put a call out just because I can make bags, but you know, I'm not that good. So I said, can you please, somebody make me a bag that you can do 2 sides. So Linda's sister stepped up, June, and said yes. And let me tell you, the attention to detail in these bags are phenomenal. So I'll show you the bag first. First of all, she made me this bag, which is just a little bag. And this is what I mean about the attention to detail. Okay, well, ignore the needle. She put all these little stitch markers, and I love these little light bulb markers. They're so handy. And on this little tag in here, so you don't need an extra pouch in your bag. Now so here's a hint for you girls. I put a darning needle on there too, because how many times do we need a darning needle and we can't find it? So that's now on there in the bag. There's also little pockets that you can put your needles in or whatever, and then another pocket on that side you can put stuff in. So did I put my scissors in there? No. Do I have any scissors in this bag? Yes, I did put my scissors in the pocket. So that is this bag. So she made this. This was originally the first one. She was going to try to turn it into the 2 thingies. And she wasn't happy with it. She didn't like it. So she went out and got more fabric and made me, we do see it, this one. Look at this. So it has the drawstring top. It has a lovely little butterfly there, as does the other one, I think. Yes. And you open it up, and if I fold that down, let's see if we can see inside. It's got 2 sections with 2 separate little stitch marker bits, all the pockets, and then in the middle it's divided by a big zipper pouch, which you could put your cell phone or stuff in that if you're out and about. Anyway, I love this bag. Now, I don't have a pair of socks on the go at the moment, but I was too eager to use this. Well, I do, but I mean, my working ones, I write the pattern as I'm going, so I'm not making two at the same time. And of course the other ones I just finished. So I didn't have an actual pair on to be able to use it for that. So because it was such a big bag, I thought I'm going to use it for my mitered square blanket projects right now till I have a sock. Then they're all going to get booted into something else. So look how it's working. So I have one mitered square project on this side and one mitered square project on that side. Oh, and the jelly roll. I got 3 projects in this bag. What? And I've got needles in there and all kinds. And again, there's all of our little stitch markers and light bulbs. Anyway, so that's what's happening in this bag. So let me show you. First off, where I'm up to with, okay, so story about the mitered square. I made a mitered square blanket, or I started one. I feel like it was 2 years ago. Could have been 3 years ago. And actually it was this one. And I had got some minis from Ellie from Craft House Magic. Every month the minis came, and there were 5. So I wanted, she had released a new, so it must have been 3 Christmases ago. She had released a new blanket, which she called the triangulum blanket. I'll put a picture. And it was little triangles, and then you could make it into a blanket, a baby blanket. So I thought that was a nice idea. So I took them, made them each month, and I made it look like a flower because I wanted to keep all the colors together. And then I thought with what was left over, I would make into a mitered square blanket, and I would whatever. Kath, what's the word I'm looking for? Intersperse, there we go, with white. And so I started doing that. The first row I did here, these are not Ellie's colors. These were from a Legacy Art, Fiber Arts Advent I'd had from like 5 years ago. So then I started with Ellie's colors in, I think this was January, February, March, something like that. And they went on like that. And I was doing them in rows. So I did 10 squares to a row, and I was just going to keep building the rows till I made a lap blanket or a baby blanket. And decided, as I normally do, I was fed up with it. So put it away. This past Vlogmas, I watched Kay Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady, and she was making, with her Advents, a mitered square blanket. And I thought, wait, I have one of them somewhere. I like this idea. And I've got a ton of leftover yarn. So I thought, I'm gonna make a mitered square blanket, but I'm gonna make it, stop coughing, Nancy, this is this COVID cough. I'm gonna make it from all the yarn I dyed this past year, because I got sort of the inspiration from the My Favorite Blanket, because those I hand dyed too, right? But I thought I'm gonna do that. So this is it so far. Look! And Kay, instead of doing lines, stripes, what Kay does is she starts in the middle. So this was my 4 in the middle with all the little mitered, whatever you call them, middle bits, going in 4 different directions. And then we just build off and make kind of a pattern with all these little rowy things. It's a bit complicated on the brain trying to make sure you've got it going the right way, but I finally got there. So yeah, so this was January's carnation yarn. This was February's violet. March was daffodil. April was Gerber daisy. And then these were, okay, so that was the color I made my scarf from. So these two, I made a pair of socks and I made the scarf out of that in March, April time. So where am I? January, February, March, April. May was Lily of the Valley. Then in June, I did this. This was Ontario spring, and then I just dyed up this one to go with it so I could make a cardigan for Sunny. This was June, which, oh, I was so in love with June's colors. That was Roses. July is Larkspur, which I loved. August was Gladioli, I believe. Then I did this one, so that's that one I just showed you that I'm making socks out of now. That's Sandy Beach. And September, I loved that. That's these, which is Asta. And then October, I made my first sock pattern was released, and it was called Spooky Spider. And these were the colors of the yarn I used to do Spooky Spider. So I still have some Christmas yarn I dyed up, and the Geen from, so this will be a very slow process because this is going to be all the yarns I am dyeing myself over the course of the year. And I will still keep dyeing yarn, don't worry. I'm just not doing it on a monthly basis now. But yeah, this is those colors. So that was fun. So then I thought, let me get out the other blanket that I had started. And I have a bag full of all of the minis from Ellie that I needed to put into this and into that little triangular blanket. So I thought, do I really want to keep going with the white? And I thought, no, I don't. So then I had this bright spark of an idea that I would carry on with this and put every other color. Once I've gone through all Ellie's, colors, I will put any other leftover yarn. Like, I mean, I have this whole thing here full, and just put it in the blanket, but I won't put any more white in. Well, I will and I won't. So here's where I'm up to now. So I've added, this was all her May yarn, I think, because I also used a lot of the yarn in my sweater that I made. Remember that Scrappy V? So, but I still do have leftovers. So I am going, so that was this, and now I'm on the fifth color. So I think that was her May colors from 2020 something. I don't even know, it was like 2 years ago. Oh my God, I nearly put that ball in my tea. So what I'm going to do is I have decided that I'm going to go all the way around. This is now my center of my blanket. And I'm going to keep, where's my marker? There. I am going to keep one row of white. And it's just going to be a big V, not a V, a big stripe all the way through this blanket. And it has to follow, it's going to follow, this V, which was the center, the V. Why do I keep calling it V? This center stripe. So the next time I do white will be there above this here. And on this side, it will be where that little marker is. So it'll be there. So this white stripe will go all the way through the center of the blanket. I was going to do it the opposite way as well, but then this would be not the right way. So I'm just going to do it with this coming all the way up. And that way I'm finding it much more fun to knit, because it's fun to put a different color in. The white just bored me to death. So, I mean, it looks lovely with the white in the middle, but it just, it was boring. So I figured that this would be much more fun and just have that big white stripe through. And if I just mark it with the little stitch marker things from the bag, then I know which one is going to be the white when I get there. So that's that one. And that one goes on that side. The other thing I then started, because why not, was because the whole point really for me in this instance is I want to get rid of all the scrap yarn. So I don't want anything left. So for example, I have this left. It's gone in the mitered square. It's gone in something else. It's gone in a pair of socks. I still have that left. I don't want to throw it out, but I've already put it in a square. So out came the jelly roll blanket again. And again, I started this at least 3 years ago. Did 3 rows on it, got bored. And as I do. So this is what I've done. And I had started with the pinks and purples. Added a white. Because I do love white in stuff. I really do. Then I went to blues and I offset this white and then it's here. So the next row, the white will appear here. And I'm going to go up and then come back down to make a V, if you know what I mean. And so now I'm starting on the green. And so this is how it comes so far. Now I did have at the beginning, oh, and that's backwards. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I did have a hard time at the beginning with the join. Because I didn't like that you could see the other color there, but I don't think we can get away from that. I mean, I like the way the slip stitch is, but anyway, I'll have to get over that. It'll probably end up being a gift for someone anyway. So that's my jelly roll blanket. So again, anything that I've finished will end up going in there to just, you know. Then, of course, if I have any left after that, or I don't want it in the jelly roll blanket, I started a magic knot ball. And again, I started this 2 years ago and I had no idea what to do with it. So I'm thinking of doing a granny stripe crochet blanket. What do you think? One never knows. Okay, finally, before I end with the silly knitting, because this has gone on forever, and we haven't even touched the quilting or the cross stitch yet. I know. In this bag, which I just showed you a second ago, I've decided I wanted to cast on a new project. Yeah, I know. And I have had it in my mind for ages. I want to try a muscle burr hat. And this yarn kept screaming at me to make it into a muscle burr hat. Now this yarn I dyed last year sometime. There might be 1 or 2 left in the shop. I can't remember. It's called School Uniform. And the reason that I dyed it, it was supposed to be the Asta colorway. I was doing more Asta. And what happened was I was a bit heavy-handed, you know, on the purple. And then I thought, oh, I don't like it. And I added a bit of green to it. And it reminds me now of my boys went to a Catholic high school. And this was their school uniform color. So I called it School Uniform. And I thought this would be lovely in a muscle burr hat. So I'm going to cast this on. I've got a 3.25 needle. Shall go. I also have some I don't know whether to do a 2.75 or 3.25. I don't know. What do you guys do? Anyway, so I thought I would make that and see how it turned out. And I could always give it to one of the boys. Because, you know, I figured they'd like it. But I feel like once I go down the muscle burr hole, there's a good chance there'll be more coming. So that's my thought. And this week I'm going to be filming a special video with someone special for you all to see next week. So I think I'll cast that on while I'm talking to her. So let's get on to the cross stitch before we're here for forever. Jungle Welcome is almost finished. If you were on the stitchy video last week, I showed it I haven't done any more to it. I am now on the birth announcement part. This is what it obviously looks like, and obviously you can see that I'm there. And I started Jungle Welcome March 20th, 2022. Never did anything, so that was how much I did in 2022. Every time I pick it up and stitch, I just circle the date. I don't care how many hours I've worked on it. Even if it's just 4 stitches, circle the date. And I didn't do anything in 2023. I did no cross stitch in 2023. Isn't that bizarre? So I have started it again now, and as I say, it's very nearly finished. I will more than likely get that finished in one evening. I just have to put the year and then his whatever he weighed, and then it's done. Oh, and my initials. I always put my initials in. Isn't it cute though? I have purchased a new one. The kit is from Bothy Kits. They're in the England. So I have purchased a new one. This will be for Evelyn, for Tristan's sister, who is 18 months old currently, but that's okay. I have a year and a half to do it, obviously. And I'm going to be working on this in tandem with Peking Puppies. So this is my new card. So my new card that I've made up tells me the project, the date I started it. There's all 2024 months I can circle. Then on the back, I have 2025 dates and notes. So I keep this card in the bag with the cross stitch. And I think I might put this PDF up on my Tobyknits and Friends Facebook group. So if you would like a copy of this PDF, I think that's where I'm going to put it. It's free. You can have it. And you just have to be a member of Tobyknits and Friends Facebook group. That's all. And so that I'm going to be doing in tandem with Peking Puppies. As many of you know, my son, Sean, in Nova Scotia, they just had to put their dog down. And they have 2 dogs. One is a Brittany Springer Spaniel, and this looks totally the image of Ellie, their one dog. She's 10, and this was the one they had to get put down. She was a coonhound, and she was 5, or nearly 5, but she's brown. She's the same colors as Toby. So I have to fix the colors and change the colors so that I can make them look like Luna. And then this will be for them. So I haven't really got far on it. I started it in 2022, and I think I spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 evenings on it in 2022. So this is all half stitch, and a lot of these here are 2 colors together to make that shade. It's hard to see. And then this part here that will come all the way down, which has the dogs, is the full cross stitch. But it's all a lot of blacks and grays and mixing a black with a gray. So it's quite dark. It's quite hard to see. So that's why I figured I'd do the other one in tandem with it, so that, you know, I'm not just constantly with the black and white all the time. I can have some color one day if I want. So that's my cross stitch. So I've decided to, I have tons of whips, of cross stitch whips as well, but I've decided I just want to work on 2 until they're finished, from now till July. And then I'll pick up some Christmas ones to do in July. And if they're not finished, they're not finished. But from now until July, those are the 2 projects I'm going to be working on the most. And then finally, quilting. Are you still all with me? Have you fell asleep yet? Have I lulled you into a sleepy state? Finally, I got back to some quilting. It's been ages since I've quilted. Once I moved the room upstairs, you'd think I'd be in here all the time quilting. I am, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not. I'm in here all the time, but I'm not quilting. Anyway, I have been working on my cotton cuts. Clue, I think I finished clue 6, and this is the Carnival puzzle mystery quilt. And what happens is each month they send you a package with all pre-cut fabric in it. And on the back of this little sheet, it tells you what color A, B, C, D is and all the rest of it. Then you get a little instruction PDF that you can print off and shows you how to put it together. So I put together the clues this past week for, so here's one of them, and you have, quite often you have to make 2 items of the same thing. So like, what is that for? And that's the beauty of this, because we make this, but we don't know where it's going to go. And on month 10, they're going to tell us what to do with this. And this was some more pieces that we had to make. We had to make 4 of these, I think. All the same. Again, where do they go? We don't know until the end. And then we had to make 2 of these. And it's so hard to know because some of these fabrics are different from each other, but similar. And it's like, how is that gonna go? And we did have to make 2 of them, but how is that gonna go? Would they go like that? Would they go like that? It's just so hard to know how they're gonna go, which is the mystery, the great mystery of the whole thing. So those I did this week. And I was going to do a video on putting them together, but I felt so sick with this cough, and all I was doing was coughing, so I thought, nah, better not. I do have my brand new one that's arrived. Well, I should say that. The new one starts in, it's called the Tree of Life, and it started now. You can still get in on it. They still have some colorways. When you go and sign up, if you go into where it says, did a detective tell you about this or something, on your sign up, if you put my name or Tobyknits, even doesn't matter, Anne Hunt Tobyknits, I think you get a free gift from them in your first clue. And so this is the colorway I am doing. It's called Woodland, and it's Horizon by Pippa Shore for Figaro Fabrics. Isn't that beautiful? This one's sold out now. It went really quickly. And I do have my first clue 1 ready here to go. And I have the instructions. So that's what I'm thinking. Would you like Friday for me to do a live putting it together? Let me know. And we can put it together if you have this too. Or even if you have a different colorway. It's all the same instruction, right? But I'm waiting for my big box because they normally send me the whole year in advance, but I only got this clue in the mail. The other box is shipping. I haven't got it yet, but I still can put this together. And then finally, I got out my block 4 of Designer Mystery. I think we're on block 8 or 9 now, so I'm way behind with this, but I don't care because this comes with all the fabric in it, and you just put it together. Now, unfortunately with this one, you have to cut it, and you have to starch it first, and then you have to cut it, and then you have leftover fabric. So, you know, choose your battles. But this is what I have done. It's not perfect because some of my little triangles, oh no, maybe not that one. Oh, maybe not that one. No, I think it was these. Wait. Maybe it was that one. I think that's smaller than that one. But you know, hey, can we tell in the grand scheme of things? Isn't that weird looking though? It's very pretty, So my plan with this is, last year I did it and I bought the finishing kit, which made the blocks much bigger. These are 12 by 12 or 12 and a half by 12 and a half. And I think the other blocks finished at like 18 because we added all extra borders. And I'm going to put them together as a Quilt As You Go project. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to. And I have the backing. This I haven't got the backing for yet because I still don't know what I want as the backing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to add any borders, I don't think, to this. But I am going to quilt this as you go as well. I feel like these would be cuter because they're smaller and it won't be as big as a blanket. But anyway, so that's what I've done. Oh my gosh, it's been an hour. We've been here an hour. Are you bored? Do you think, okay, because we've been here an hour, and typically I don't like watching videos that are that long myself. I just love like little half-hour videos that you can sit down with a cup of tea and have a quick chat. Is this too long? Would you prefer I go back to weekly and just do half-hour weekly videos? I feel like that might be better. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know below. You have a lot of questions I need you answering here. I hope you know that. So, weekly videos, or are we still good with bi-weekly longer videos? Do you want me to do more lives on Fridays? A sewing live? You need to let me know. Would you prefer them to be Saturdays, not Fridays? Is Saturday better? I don't know. There's so many questions. Well, I do believe I should go. This tea's cold. Totally cold. So I'm going to go. I have to clean up. Going to go see what hubby's doing. It's very dull today. It's very dull. Okay, I've got to go. I could be sitting here for another hour just waffling. All right, I'm going. Bye. See you soon.